I'll make you scream for 30 and we can rush through a shower. Laney didn't get out of the hospital until almost noon, but they made it to the farmer's market. A simple bit of togetherness was all Kyle had asked for, and no matter how busy she got, she wanted to give that to him. They stopped at the Italian deli for olives and coppa, then the veggie stand across the way for cucumbers, tomatoes, and basil. Laney grabbed a second cucumber, and Kyle wrapped his arm around her waist, tugging her tight to his side. "Is that all you're going to eat while I'm gone?" He laughed against her hair as he nuzzled closer. "Well, this and a daily pickup of Thai food, yes." She looped her arms around his neck. "You're only going to be away for 5 days. I'll survive." He stole her mouth for a quick kiss, then patted her on the butt. "Let's get you home and fed before my flight. Who knows when your next good meal will be?" An idea started to percolate as they made a late lunch together. Kyle making a balsamic vinaigrette while Laney chopped vegetables and a coarse baguette into similar-sized cubes. She fetched a block of pecorino cheese from the fridge and shaved thick curls onto their bowls before they dug in. "Tell me more about the conference itinerary," she prompted, waving her fork in the air. "The first 2 days will be jam-packed. That's the graduate student symposium. But once the full conference gets underway, I'll probably have an afternoon or morning free each day. William wants to do a helicopter tour of the Grand Canyon. I think I'd just be happy checking out the Strip." "And you're back on Thursday?" "Yeah, conference doesn't end until Friday, but the cheaper flight and getting back to you made it worthwhile." "How much were flights on Sunday?" She thought she'd asked the question casually enough, but apparently not. He put his fork down and reached across the table to snag her hand. "Don't." "I'm just asking." "No offense, sweetheart, but you're gonna get my hopes up. You won't be able to get away, and that's okay. It's not like I've had a lifelong fantasy of a dirty weekend in Vegas with you or anything." God, the things his grin did to her insides, and some important part of her outsides, too. "Lifelong?" He gave her a hungry look. "Laney, you've starred in my fantasy since before I knew what made Vegas, well, Vegas." Was she purring out loud? "We'll go sometime, I promise." "Like we'll get away to Mexico and get married?" His doubting tone didn't hold any malice, which was a not-so-minor miracle. She really didn't deserve him and his endless patience. "Besides, we're going to New York next month for that Med-Ed conference." He pushed away from the table and came around to her side. He stroked the nape of her neck for a minute before gathering her hair in a ponytail and tugging her head back so he could kiss her. He pressed deeper, as if he could show her his love and promise with his passion, and that the details didn't matter. Didn't matter as much as their love. But maybe she'd been relying on that promise and Kyle's unwavering commitment a little too much as of late. Just because he understood doesn't mean she couldn't surprise him. Starting with the half hour before they had to leave for the airport. She looked up at the gorgeous man looming over her. Her man, who'd let her walk away once, but never would again. She slid out of her chair, dropping to her knees on the hardwood floor. A floor he'd laid with his bare hands and a few power tools. "Have I told you today just how much I love you?" She licked her lips as she undid his belt. Beneath the dark denim of his jeans, his solid thighs flexed toward her, and he grunted his appreciation for what she was offering. "I really, really do." She dragged his zipper open, relishing the growing bulge pressing against her knuckles. She did that to him. He did everything for her, but she could bring him pleasure. It wasn't enough, but it was something. "We've got time if you want to go upstairs," he rasped, stroking his thumb over her lower lip. She swiped her tongue out and tasted the saltiness of his rough skin there. Different from the silky texture of his cock, still hidden behind red boxer briefs, but just as delicious. Every inch of Kyle's body made her hungry for another taste. But she was still sore from their pre-dawn encounter. And this was just for him. She settled back on her heels and pulled her t-shirt off. She traced her fingers along the lacy edge of her bra and looked up at Kyle with her best coquettish glance.